Our topic is about a global teacher. So, what is a global teacher? It is a competent teacher who is armed with enough skills, appropriate attitude, and universal values to teach students with both time-tested as well as modern technologies in education in any place in the world. So, it means that a global teacher is one that helps or guides students to improve their skills and character, as well as to produce an empowered students. Next, he or she is someone that thinks and acts both locally and globally with worldwide perspective right in the communities where she is situated. So, a global teacher is one that has a positive mind and goal in life not only for herself but also for the students.
So let's now proceed to the qualities of a global Filipino teacher. So there are 10 qualities an individual must possess to be a globally competitive teacher. So number 1, a global Filipino teacher must understand how this world is interconnected. So as a future educator, you must possess this one so you can prepare your students for a globally competitive world. And what's happening in the world is stunning. So, in our fast changing world, we must help the students and understand the world to guide them and cope up with the inevitable change of our world. So, number 2, a global Filipino teacher must recognize that the world has rich variety of way of life. So, as a global teacher, you must understand and know the different educational system of the world. Number 3, a global Filipino teacher has a vision of the future, sees what future will be for himself and the students. So, a global Filipino teacher must have their goals. Kasi nga, sino bang nagkakaroon ng journey na wala namang main goals, 'di ba? Everyone has their goals in life. So we as a global teacher or we as a future educator must have main goal to be inspired and motivated as well as the students. Number 4, a global Filipino teacher must be creative and innovative. So, a global teacher must be creative and innovative, especially in giving instructions and facilitating the students. We all know that nowadays, the learners show less interest when the teacher's way of teaching is boring, right? So, as a global teacher, you must adjust mo yung level of your creativeness to what your students level. So, you can have the same level in learning and teaching. So number 5, a global Filipino teacher must understand, respect, and be tolerant of the diversity of culture. So a global teacher must understand the multicultural education because as a teacher, you must give value to the diverse differences, the diverse background, and the learners' educational experiences kasi iba-iba naman tayo ng experiences, 'di ba? Like just in our school, your school, magkaiba yung level ng tinuturo. So halimbawa, 'di ba, teachers are asking us about napag-aralan nyo ba to? Have you tackled this one? So ang iba, yes, they have tackled this. Pero yung iba hindi. So, we should respect the differences of the students, especially in their backgrounds and experiences. So, number 6, a global Filipino teacher must believe and take action for student that will sustain the future. So, as a global teacher, you should never let your will guard down. And kasi, what would be the future of our world if our global teacher tends to disbelieve and stop to take action in teaching the students. So, kailangan tuloy-tuloy lang. Yung bang parang fighting, ganon. Yung mga global teacher. Amidst the different circumstances na nararanasan natin. And number 7, we must, a global educator or a global Filipino teacher must be able to facilitate digitally mediated learning. So it is true that technology makes our lives easier. So and others may say that we are all teaching the students to be lazy and dependent on the technology. Yet, we should accept the fact that um, our time has changed and our times are evolving, and we could no longer apply what we have learned in the past in our generations today. And others, diba, sinasabi nila, just go with the flow kasi nga yun yung hindi naman ibig sabihin na ito yung trend ngayon masama na. Kasi tulad nga ng technology, we can use this in different purposes. So, and we can apply what we have learned in the future when we can apply what we have learned in the previous years today. And also, we are human beings and we are given the mind to manipulate the things accordingly. So, hindi naman masama na mag-depend tayo sa technology kasi nga, kaya nga ginawa yung technology. So, we can help ourselves in different fields. And also, we also allow our students and to learn new things as well as ourselves. Hindi lang students yung natututo kasi sometimes natututo din tayo sa students. At saka, we are no longer stagnant with the traditional methods kasi nga, yung mga students today, they rely more on technology. At yun nga, just like what I have said a while ago, na we must be creative and innovative kasi students rely on interesting matter, technology based. Mas gusto nila yung mga ganun kaysa yung mga traditional methods na ginagamit natin noon. And also, dahil dito sa digital learning, we are open to new ideas, and new things. Kasi nga, madami nang nagbago sa ating mundo. And also, to become the future's or tomorrow's youth, we must be digitally mediated learning. Saka, why would we keep our nutshells in the past if we could explore new things in the future? Number 8, a global Filipino teacher must have depth of knowledge. Kasi, di ba, before you discuss something or before you discuss about the subject matter, you must understand it flexibly. And you must be aware of what you will be teaching about. Kasi 'di ba, sabi nga nila, alam ba talaga niya yung dinidiscuss niya, 'di ba? Yung parang ganun sinasabi nung ibang estudyante na, mas alam ko pa yan, yung parang ganun, 'di ba? Mas naririnig natin sa mga students na ganun yung sinasabi kasi nga sometimes teachers are not knowledgeable about what they are teaching. So as a global teacher, you must understand first your subject matter before discussing it to the class. Number 9, a global teacher must possess good communication skills. So a teacher must be skilled at listening to their students as well as explaining things clearly. And teacher needs clarify of thought to present the matter. They must be able to break down complex ideas to simpler parts and smaller steps to transmit it to their students. Dapat marunong makipag-communication yung teacher sa student. Kasi other teacher says bahala ka dyan kung hindi mo naiintindihan. 'Di ba? May ibang teacher na ganun eh. So, they are not good in communication. They are not good in communication skills. So, dapat a global teacher must be good in communication skills. Kahit na nakakairita, minsan 'di ba, nakakairita yung mga bata kasi, "Ma'am, ano pong gagawin?" Nakasulat na naman doon na halimbawa, sinabi na doon na 1/4 ang gagawin, tapos kung ilang sentences, tapos itatanong pa, "Ma'am, saan po isusulat?" Di ba nakalagay na nga sa 1/4. O di ba 'yon? Saka para kahit na makulitan ka, dapat meron kang pa ring good communication skills. So, yun yung dapat na napoposes ng global teacher. Dapat kahit na anong mangyari, pasensyado ka. Good communication skills, kahit na marami silang tanong, sagot lang ng sagot. Kasi, minsan, hindi lang sila yung natututo sa mga sagot mo, minsan, natututo ka rin sa mga tinatanong nila. Ayun. So, the last one, a teacher or a global teacher must possess the competencies of a professional teacher as embodied in the national competency-based standards for students or NCBTS. So, I have listed the domains of NCBTS. So, meron siyang 7 domains. Number 1, social regard for learning. So, dito nakapaloob yung positive and powerful role model. So, ito dapat yung mga competencies or domains na napopossess ng isang global teacher. So, ayun nga, social regard learning. So, number 2, learning environment, yung social, psychological, and physical environment. Number 3, diversity of learners, yung mga respect sa individual differences ng mga learner. Kasi nga, yun, nabanggit ko na naman a while ago na we should respect and value the differences of the learners. Number 4, the curriculum. So, a global teacher must know the goals and objectives of the school or the subject matter. Number 5, planning or assessing reporting, yung mga planning of activities. Number 6, community linkages. So, your activities must be meaningful and connected to the experiences of the students to the community. And the last one, personal growth and professional development. So, we should value our profession, and the teacher also must have improvement as long as hindi, no, dapat yung teacher must have improvement as well as the students. Hindi lang naman students kasi ang dapat na nagkakaroon ng improvement, kasi nga sabi ko nga kanina na we can learn new things in students. Hindi lang estudyante yung natututo sa atin, kasi natututo din tayo sa kanila. So, that's the 10 qualities an individual must possess to be a globally competitive teacher.
So now I am discussing about the 9 characteristics of a global teacher. First, thinks and acts both locally and globally. So it means that a teacher has to be equipped with teaching strategies and techniques. She or he need to be open-minded on world issues, events that can benefit to the local. The second one has a classroom management skills. So as a teacher, you should create or prepare in your classroom that appropriate to your learners. The third one makes content relevant and updated. So as a teacher, you should be straight to the point when you are discussing and be updated with trends to give your students further more information. The fourth one has skills in critical thinking. So you should think open-mindedly with alternative systems of thought, objective as possible when looking or searching information or situation. 5. Uses technology and education. Of course, as a teacher, you should be able to create digital you can take attendance, assign homework, and many more, and get real results related to teaching material, styles, and format. Sixth, has deep understanding of multiculturalism and globalization. So, a teacher should seek to create equal educational opportunities for all students, including those different ethnic and social class groups. The 7 has skills to collaborate with teams. So, as a teacher, you need to communicate clearly and actively listening to others. 8. brings the world into the classroom, school, and community. A teacher needs to get better at making connections. Be sure to connect with your learners all the time. 9. Continuously grow professionally. So, as a teacher, you should gain new skills and work experience that can help you to reach a goal in your career.
The professional teacher. Professional educators are value-driven. They guided by principles, passions, and purpose bigger than themselves. Professional educators who need analyst competence or they practice their professions to diagnose and prescribe options for educational success. Professional educators believe their work is a vocation and calling rather than an occupation wherein merely occupies space. Professional educators recognize that change is the norm. Professional educators are climate creators, recognizing that the conditions that surround learning contributes to learning. Professional educators are catalysts in promoting calculated risks that advance their professions and enable everyone access to success. Professional educators promote cohesiveness, collaborations, and team building. Professional educators create climate of ownership by ensuring that everyone involved in the educational process is invited to participate. Professional educators are accountable to their client, community, parents, and students, providing a quality educational program for all children. Professional educators belong to the organizations that promotes their professions above personal gain. So, professional educators is the licensed professional who possess dignity and reputations with high moral value, as well as technical and professional competence. As someone who affect change because change is their because they believe that change is belong to their profession. The changing is teaching students to change is the number one thing that they contribute to change the world. So set the highest standard to best practice their profession. Being a professional teacher means being knowledgeable and enthusiastic about one's materials, creating a supportive and respectful classroom environment, building an authentic relationship with and advocating for students, being organized and planning ahead, remaining open to new ideas and continuing to learn, appreciating diversity and understandable for all students. So this is the meaning of professional teacher.
Hi, so this is the continuation of the topic, the professional teacher. So first is the fundamental laws and policies. One of this is the Republic Act number 7836. So this is an act that strengthens the regulation and supervision of the practice of teaching in the Philippines and prescribing a licensure examination for teachers for other purposes. So this act shall be known as the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994. So in section 2 at the statement of policy, it says that the state recognizes the vital role of teachers in nation building and development through a responsible and literate citizenry. Toward this end, the state shall ensure and promote quality education by proper supervision and regulation in the licensure examination and professionalization of the practice of the teaching profession. So the objectives of this act includes the following. First is the promotion, development, and the professionalization of teacher and the teaching profession. Next is the supervision and regulation of the licensure examination. So for the section 4, for the definition of terms, so the purpose of this act is the following terms shall mean: A, the teaching. So the teaching refers to the profession concerned primarily with classroom instruction at the elementary and secondary levels in accordance with the curriculum prescribed by the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports, which is now called as DepEd, whether on part-time or full-time basis on the private or public schools. Second is the teacher. So the teachers refers to all person engaged in teaching at the elementary and secondary level, whether on full-time or part-time basis, including industrial arts or vocational teachers and other person performing supervisory and or administrative functions in all schools in the aforesaid levels and qualified to practice teaching under this act. So third is the board. So the board refers to the professional teacher duly established and constituted under this act. So under the commission, there are 43 professional regulatory board which exercises administrative, quasi-legislative, and quasi-judicial power over their respective profession. So fourth is the commission. So the commission refers to the Professional Regulation Commission or the agency mandated to implement the regulatory and policies for the various regulated professions. So second is, what are the qualifications of a Filipino professional teachers? So first is, one of the most important qualification of being a Filipino professional teacher is that he or she should pass the licensure examination for teachers. Next is, he or she should be also undertaking continuing professional development, which includes taking seminars. Third is to abide by the code of ethics for professional teachers. So a teacher should have integrity and should possess all the characteristics that includes in the code of ethics for professional teachers. So third is, what are the requirements to take the licensure examination for teachers or LEP? So he or she should earn bachelor degree in education or any bachelor degree with 18 units of professional education units. He or she must be a Filipino citizen and other requirements as prescribed by the Professional Regulation Commission or the PRC. So this includes the following: the PSA, he or she should also prepare all the her school credentials like TOR and also the fee for the exam. Fourth is the career path for professional teacher. First is the beginning professional teacher. This is his or her first to 3 years of teaching profession. Next is the young professional teacher, the 4 to 10 years of the teaching. Next is the mentor or master profession teacher, the 11th to 15th year of teaching. Next is the expert or sterling professional teacher. This is the 15 years and above of a teaching profession.